Mark, a really impressive display to see off Austria's Florian Niesler. How would you assess your performance?
Didn't feel that great. I know I made a few breaks here and there, but I felt very rusty. It's just good to be back playing, and hopefully after a few matches dust those cobwebs off. But I was pleasantly surprised with the way I played, but it didn't feel great.
What have you been up to since the World Championship? Have you been practicing? Have you taken a bit of a break? Or?
Yeah, just practicing really. We had about a week or 10 days off after the Worlds, and then we were in the process of moving clubs, so I was having to relocate my table and stuff. So yeah, that gave me a bit of time off, and then just straight back at the practice table. But the last few weeks haven't been great, so I wasn't really expecting much coming here. But hopefully I'll be a bit better after winning the first match.
It seemed to campaign last season on the cusp of something really good for you. There's lots of semi-finals. There was obviously the final here against Stephen in the Tour Championship. Do you feel confident in this season you can just take maybe that one step further and really contend for titles?
Possibly. Like I've always been thereabouts. For a number of seasons now, so it's no shock to be at the later stages of tournaments. But I want to be winning these tournaments. I don't want to just keep being the nearly man. So yeah, I was disappointed last year in that I lost first round of the Worlds and the Masters. Got the semis of the UK. So they're the three tournaments I want to base my seasons around. I've been here long enough. I know I'll pick up a few tournaments here and there if I play my best. But they're the three that I'm always going to judge my seasons on. So last year was probably disappointing.
Yeah, how disappointing was that first round exit at the World Championship? It was a record equalling display in terms of centuries, but just it fell short. I suppose you played very well.
Yeah, he did. Jamie played very well in that game, but it was just hard because you're used to the World Championship having all the pressure attached to it, and you went out there, it was very flat. It was a very strange setup going out there with 900 seats and they're all empty. It's a little bit different coming here because you know what you're going to get. It was very strange walking out of that crucible, given its history. It's not a feeling that I want to go through too often.
Yeah, sadly, I think for the next few months we're going to be in this sort of environment, given the government announcement that restrictions are continuing in terms of social distancing and things. How do you feel as a top player it's going to impact on you in terms of, are you starting to get used to it now? Or?
I think, look, the top players are going to win these tournaments regardless of what format or what's going on in the world. The top players are the top players for a reason. But I think it will help the lower ranked players with no crowd and I think that's a big leveler when people aren't used to that. The established names are more than used to the big venues and big crowds and TV cameras. So if anything, it should be detrimental to the top players, but I still expect them to come through and win these events.
Up next for you this week, it's Ken Doherty. It'll be a really interesting game that I'm sure it will be one both of you will enjoy. Yeah,
I've played Ken a few times over the years, always had some good battles, and he's one of the wild cards that is still able to compete. He's won a lot of matches on tour, only just missed out keeping his card. So yeah, no, I'm not a fan of the wild cards in general, but I think Ken probably deserves it. He was very, very close last year and he's still able to compete, so I'm going to have to play better than I played today.
That's a match we'll all look forward to. Good luck, Mark.
Cheers, everyone.